Okay, so it's time to do the colour wheel. And as I said, we're going to use three colours. We're going to use the red, green, red, yellow and blue to create an entire colour wheel. And we use white as well as a tint around it so as we can work outwards. And I'll show you how we'll do this today. And then hopefully then we can go on to hiding our object. So I'm highly organised. I've got my yellow, my red, my blue right here. I have got three paintbrushes, size 8 to 12. So reasonable size paintbrushes. That's my thumb. They're not tiny. And what I've got is some knives. So I've got three paintbrushes set to one side for each colour. And what we'll do is we'll put those colours down first. What we really need to do is to make sure that you keep tidy. So we've got three colours plus white. We are ready with 3 pots of water, and we're also ready with some clean up. Best if you can use cloth really. If you've got a cloth you can wash it up afterwards and you can keep reusing it. So we've got an A4 sheet of heavyweight paper. You can have cartridge paper fairly heavyweight as well. As long as you get colour wheel down, or we'll use some cardboard. That will just do just as well off the back of a pizza box. So sorry you can't see my face, but I want you to see this. So what we'll do is we'll start with putting some colour down, and we have to do this in a very organised fashion. I'm going to use knives to do that. You might not have a knife at home, but a palette knife. But we'll try and go with the flow. So I'm going to add some yellow. You need a fair bit of yellow because it disappears. It's one of the least dominant colours that's on the colour wheel. So anything else you add to it will just take over. So I'm going to add some red here. And we're going to add some blue here. What I've also got incidentally is a spray gun. Some spray. It's just from a hair product actually. It's from Aussie Hair, and I've used it up. And what I've decided to do is just replace it with water. And sometimes when acrylic paint and it's warm, acrylic paint will go dry. And it just gives it a little bit, you just spray it over and it just helps it flow a little bit. Not too much though, you might need extra paint. So we've got our 3 blobs of colour down, and what we're going to do is work them into a... Sorry, you've got 2 eyes and a nose there at the moment. So what I'm going to do is work these colours round. So I'm going to start with the red. Leave my brush, leave my knife down. I'm not going to go to the blue. Because what I'm aiming at is a circle. And I'm going to bring these colours as close to each other as I possibly can, without touching. Blue around to the red. Keep that there. And we'll get the yellow and bring that round. Notice that there's more yellow here. Now it's important that we keep the primary colour, so we don't forget what the primary colour looks like. We need to keep the primary colour in the centre of each. We don't want to be mixing that. So we have to be a little bit careful there. So I'm just going to move these to one side so you can see exactly what I've done. I've got these as close together as humanly possible. I've got 3 brushes, but 3 pots of water. But what we'll do is we'll start with pushing the yellow into the red. so we can make an orange. I'm going to bring that closer so you can actually see it. Now we move the brush in an outward direction as if we're making a flower. Remember, don't go to the centre. The last thing you want to do, I'm going to clean this brush. Just going to wipe off the excess. So there's not a lot of can't keep going the wrong way. There's not a lot of paint left on that brush. So I'm going to get that cleaner brush and bring it over into the yellow. So we're creating an orangey colour. I'll clean my brush off again. Make sure you keep that bit of yellow. Don't let it run away with you. Again, don't let that orange go into the red too much, because what you're going to do is lose your primary colour, which I'm trying to keep here. I want to try then and come out a little bit more so the orange is more prevalent. You can see the orange, and it's getting paler and paler orange. You see that? There's a bit of a gradation of the tone from the red into the oranges into the paler oranges, so it's turning towards yellow. Then we'll take that yellow into the blue. And then we get in the green, but we must keep our brush reasonably clean as we're doing it. Now, it's starting to get a bit of green there, you can just about see it. So I'm going to work that blue back into the yellow, but make sure you don't forget, and don't keep coming back on yourself either. Keep cleaning your brush as you're going along. You want to grade out a slow gradation of colour. Now I'm going to use a clean brush, because if I work into that yellow, I'm going to have a problem. Because even if I just try and wipe it off, it won't. It will start dragging in. So I'm just going to start dragging that green back into that blue. And you see there's a slower grade of colour. Because this is yellow I'm working with, I've just cleaned 2 brushes, and I am putting the dirtiest palette, the dirtiest water to the left, and I'm working my brushes to the right, cleaner and cleaner till I get to the cleanest pot. So I've got another clean brush here. I'm going to take that yellow again, and I'm going to bring it back. And then we get these more turquoisey colours. Don't forget, you've got to keep your blue there. Into the dirty water. Into the slightly cleaner water. And into the very clean water. Just so as you keep your brushes nice and clean as you're doing this. Now we're going to take the red into the blue, because the blue will dominate the red. And I am going to start to pick up my palette knives, and I'm going to tidy up this paper. So I've got some cleanish area to work with. So now I've got to bring that red into the blue. Just going to get rid of the excess water. And make sure you keep your red where it's supposed to sit. It's very difficult to see. So I'm just going to drag that red into my blue. But remember, don't lose the blue. Now I'm going to drag it back, but because there's too much blue on here, I don't need to overtake the red. And we're going to drag it back. Purples are quite hard to recreate. I'm dragging it backwards into a flower formation. Making sure I'm keeping my brush reasonably clean. You don't have too much contamination either way. Turn that over again because it's getting mucky. Okay, you can just about see there's purples just round about here. I'm just going to pull a bit more blue into the red. And just keeping the red. Very hard to get the grade of colour. That's what we've got on our colour wheel now. Now, we have to work fairly quickly. I'm going to give that a spray of water just to make sure it's okay. Then we're going to create the tints. What I've done is I've done an addition of white all the way around. Take a long time to dry, this will. Start with the yellow again. We're going to drag this white into the yellow, and be careful that as you're going around, again keep clean, keep dabbing this away because you don't want to drag it all the way around because you'll end up with mud. Dragging that orangey colour into the white. I'm not going into that dirty water, going back to the mid clean colour. And dab off that excess water. And we're going to get that orange. I'm going to drag it into the white, and I'm trying to keep clean as I can. I'm going to get a new brush, clean brush. Get some green into it. So where's the bit where I lost it? I lost it at the purple. So I'm going to be a bit naughty and add a little bit of red and blue again together because I lost it there, and the last thing I want to do, oops, tiny little bit. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay. Oh, devil. Okay. I'm going to try and mix up a suitable purple into the middle here. Even the teacher gets it wrong. It's not easy for anybody mixing colour. This is the quickest and easiest way, or I can help you with it, because you can do colour charts and they take forever. And I think you might remember me trying to take you through one or two colour charts. And they're a flipping nightmare. This is the easiest way of doing it that I can possibly gift to you. This is a bit of a gift. I can't find another easier way of doing a colour chart that you can do at home that's going to not do your head in or mine. Here we go, we got some purple now. Into that. There. Just so as we get, I'm just trying to get this so as we get a reasonable approximation, doesn't have to be perfect, of tints. So I've got an approximation of the tints of everything getting paler and paler all the way around. In theory, all colours, when added together, make black. This is what's called subtractive colour. Now, I've used primary colours, and you might think, why is there such a thing as burnt umber? Why have we got alizarin crimson? Why have we got French ultramarine? Well, these colours are old colours, using ochre as well, another old colour. They're from the earth, and that's why it sounds so confusing. There are so many different colours. Now we can carry on and make those shades. We can carry on and make those colours lighter and lighter. It gives you an idea of how much lighter you can go. You can imagine how light these can go as you're going along. So it's a really good guide in starting off. So as I said, the red, the yellow and the blue, if you bring them together in the centre, it should, in theory, make black. So I'm going to try it. It's not going to work because there's not much blue there again, because I've pulled it from the, I had to add some more, but I'm going to attempt to mangle all this together into the centre. I think it's going to end up like a brown. Or green. It's going to end up a green. The centre of this flower, it's going to be very green. So I'm going to contrive this. I'm going to cheat. I'll add a little bit of blue to that. Not much. Might be a good idea to put some into a palette rather than blue right into the middle. And I am going to add a little bit of blue to that. And my next stage is I'm going to add a little bit of red to that. Still very greeny colour. So I want to move some red to one side because I don't want to get carried away and end up with a massive blob right in the centre. So I'm going to add some red. It's getting darker. I'm just adding a little bit of red there. It's starting to get darker. The moment I can see it is a very dark green, but it looks almost black in the screen, but to me it's a very, very dark green. Because it's very dark green, we need to add a little more red. But that makes it browner. I'll get darker. It's a very, very dark purple now. That is dark enough. So that is your basic, I can see you now, that's your basic colour wheel. Takes a bit of practice. I've been doing this for a number of years, so don't put yourself under pressure. Remember to always take your paintbrush out into the shape of a flower. Don't go sideways with it or round in a circle, it will get all mangled up. So you can keep this and you can use whatever red, yellow or blue that you would like, but make a note of what you've done so you know what colours mix into what. So you've got half a clue into what kind of colours you've got. You can experiment and use other colours that you might have, other different types of blue. You might have ultramarine, you might have cobalt blue, you might have cadmium red, which is a little bit orangey. So try some different colours and make your own colour wheels up with whatever you've got, and that will help you to create an idea of what colours are. When you are creating what we've done in the centre here is what's called a chromatic black. It's a mixture of all of these colours together, all the primary colours. You can do a chromatic black with other colours as well, alizarin crimson, you can use Prussian blue and burnt umber, and this does give you the blackest of blacks because it's the darkest of blues and it's the darkest of reds and it's one of the darkest of browns that you can put together. So it does make decadent, really beautiful blacks. People do use greys and they use Payne's grey, which is quite a popular grey, so it's not too dull. If you add black straight to a colour, you can make it really muddy. So that's my tip today on how to create your own colour wheel at home. And so I'll see you next time for my example of my hidden object.